The PlayStation Store is running its mid-year sale along with a games under $20 sale, and I want to take a look at some of those deals that are available right now, the best deals. Now, I'm not going to go under the threshold of $10. We'll do a separate video for that because there were actually quite a few good deals under $10, but some of the more expensive games for those of you that are looking to buy some premier titles. I'll talk about that, and let's just get right into it, and I want to kick things off with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is down to $13.19. Now, the game is also included with EA Play, but I know a lot of you guys don't like to go that route. Jedi Fallen Order is very relevant right now because it just got its PlayStation 5 upgrade, and it's a pretty good upgrade on top of that. And I really enjoyed my time with the game. I thought it was a great action-oriented title, good puzzles, good platforming sequences. The only issue that I really had with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and it doesn't sound like a major issue, but trust me, it's like a pretty big issue, and if you look into it, like a lot of people have this same complaint with the game, and that is this game features one of the worst maps I've ever seen in my life. Like, this map in this game is atrocious. If you can get past that, this is a very well-made game. The visuals are great, and it looks even better on PS5, plays even better, of course, and it's worthwhile for $13.19. Again, you just gotta get past the absolutely horrendous map, and the game's a really solid pickup. Respawn did a pretty solid job with it, and I thought 13 and change was a pretty good pickup on that. Next up, Bloodborne Complete Edition Bundle is $17.49. This, of course, includes Bloodborne, the base game, as well as the Old Hunters DLC, and that's really one of the main things people have concerns with when picking up Bloodborne is the base game will go on sale many times, but sometimes the complete edition doesn't go on sale and people wonder, you know, is the DLC worth it? Yeah, the DLC is worth it, and you ideally want to get the complete edition bundle. Now, $17.49 for a game that released in 2015, maybe you could say that's a little bit pricey. However, when it comes to Bloodborne, it's a different ball game. Like, the game is absolutely worth $17.49, and you're talking to someone that is not big on the Souls game. Like, I can enjoy the Souls games, I have a good time with it, but I don't live and die by the Souls games like some people do, and if you do, by all means, that's great. I understand why it appeals to so many people, but I'm just more of a casual player of these games, and I absolutely adored Bloodborne. It is without a doubt my favorite in the franchise of, like, you know, From Software titles. I love the setting, thought it had a great setting, and the game overall just had great art direction as well. $17.49 I think is a pretty good pickup, so go check that out if you're looking to pick up Bloodborne. I imagine the majority of people that have a PS4 own this game by now, but nevertheless, a worthwhile pickup. Hopefully, this gets an upgrade sooner rather than later. Next up, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. $36, which, yes, that's a 40% off discount, but that's still going to be relatively pricey for a lot of people. Look, if you want to wait for a deeper discount, I can absolutely understand. It's an Activision title, and these games generally hold in price for quite a while. That's why I just recommend the game, because it is a really good game. It's a really well-made platformer, and, you know, just knowing how Activision does things, I'm sure it's gonna go cheaper, but it's not gonna be that much cheaper. Like, I think it'll level off at around $25, and it'll stick around that price point for a while. 36 is the cheapest we've seen thus far. There's another one with the PS5 upgrade, which is quite nice, and you know, if you're a fan of platformers, if you're a fan of Crash Bandicoot, if you played the Insane trilogy, which you haven't, you should definitely get around to playing that, and then pick up Crash Bandicoot 4 because it's an excellent platformer, highly recommended, even with the more pricey price tag. Next up, The Legend of Yours Trails of Cold Steel 2 is 50% off for $19.99. Obviously, rave about this JRPG franchise. The only issue is, for some reason, right now, they have Trails of Cold Steel 2, 3, and 4 all on sale. Trails of Cold Steel 1 is not on sale, so figure that one out. I don't know, like, who thought that was a good idea, but nevertheless, I think if Trails of Cold Steel 1 was on sale, there would literally be people dropping the money to get all 4 of those games right away, and I understand that 3 and 4 have different publishers than 2, but this is still a little bit jarring to me. I don't understand that at all. Nevertheless, if you have Trails of Cold Steel 1 and you want to pick up 2, this is a great way to do so at a little bit cheaper of a price point. It's a great JRPG, and Cold Steel 2 really gets the Cold Steel saga going. I mean, it starts out guns blazing right out of the gate, and if you played through the entirety of Trails of Cold Steel 1, you kind of understand what you're getting yourself into, but excellent JRPG, highly recommended, and very exciting to see that the Crossbell saga will be coming to the PlayStation 4 in 2022 and 2023 as well. So now the entire franchise is coming together, and it's being a little more easy to access all of these games. But Cold Steel 2, 20 bucks, a great deal. If you want a Western RPG, Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition is 75% off for $12.49. Now, this is an RPG that's more akin to, you know, PC-centric RPGs. It works well with the DualShock 4 controls, and I loved Pillars of Eternity. I liked Pillars of Eternity 1 more than 2 as well. 2 is also a pretty good game, but this is just a very well thought out RPG with great storytelling, very good dialogue, and a lot of content. The Complete Edition includes the expansion as well, and for $12.49 with all the content that you're getting, I think this is a worthwhile pickup. By the way, this one is on PlayStation Now as well if you want to go that route. Circling back to JRPGs, Persona 5 Royale is $26.99. I mean, you know, many people consider this to be the best JRPG of all time. I don't think I would go to that extent, but hey, if it's in the top 3, I would say $26.99 for it is great, especially if you never played Persona 5. Like, man, just check out Royale. And even if you played P5, Royale has a significant addition to its content, so paying $27 is a really good deal, even if you played the original game and you beat that version. This is just an enhanced version of a game that many already consider to be the best JRPG of all time, so you can, you know, comprehend the fact that this is a very, very high-level game, and $27 for it, yes, a little bit on the pricier side, but this is one of those games that's easily worth it. Next up, I want to recommend the Raccoon City Edition bundle, which is $32. This includes the Resident Evil 2 remake as well as the Resident Evil 3 remake. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know what the deal is here. RE2 remake is incredible. It's one of the best remakes I've ever seen, and it's fantastic. They do the game justice. RE3, on the other hand, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's relatively short. It's not, you know, it doesn't do RE3 the justice that RE2 remake did to RE2. Still a pretty decent little game, but yeah, a little imperative on the word little, because yeah, that left a lot to be desired. But you know, they did have a focus on the multiplayer aspect of the game, but whatever. The Raccoon City Edition, you get RE2 Remake and you get RE3, 2 games, $32, essentially 16 bucks a pop, which is actually pretty good, given that I don't believe RE3 has been down to $16. It gets down to like $17.99 or like $19.79, that threshold. RE2 hasn't dropped below $16 as well, so this is a pretty good pickup, all things considered. And RE2 Remake is an absolute must-play, and when Resident Evil Village goes on sale, you should definitely check that game out, because right now, it might be my favorite game of the year so far. And 1A, 1B with actually Scarlet Nexus, as of, you know, as much as I've played of that game, but definitely Resident Evil, Capcom's been doing that franchise justice, even though the RE3 remake was a little bit of a misstep. There's still stuff to like about that game, but RE2, again, is excellent. Next up, we have The Outer Worlds, which is down to $19.79. Would highly recommend this. Obviously, Outer Worlds 2 just recently got announced, but this is a Microsoft-owned studio in Obsidian now, so it's going to be a Microsoft exclusive on PC and Xbox Series. Outer Worlds 1 is still really good, especially at a cheaper price of $19.79. I thought this was a well-designed game, which didn't overstay its welcome. I know that the big aspect of RPGs this generation has been these, you know, incredibly long experiences, and don't get me wrong, a lot of those are really good, but it's sometimes nicer to have a little bit more of a concise RPG, and that's what Outer Worlds really offers you. Even though you're not going to be able to play Outer Worlds 2 on PlayStation, I still think Outer Worlds 1 is a worthwhile buy, especially at sub $20. Want to give this one a shout. Next up, moving back to JRPGs, Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana and Ys Memories of Celceta are both on sale. If you're just getting into Ys, I would probably just go to Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana if this is going to be your first game. $19.79 for it is so good. Great music, little bit of mystery, good story here, and the gameplay is that Ys flair you know and love. I mean, if you have played the Ys games, which is kind of a contradiction, but regardless, Ys 8 is an excellent JRPG. From a technical side, you know, nothing to rave about with either of these games. Both of them did release on the PlayStation Vita after all, but Ys 8 is great, and Ys Memories of Celceta is very good as well. Like, if you already played Ys 8, go back and play Ys Memories of Celceta for 18 bucks. Not a bad pickup on either of those JRPGs. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to the Assassin's Creed Triple Pack Black Flag, Unity, and Syndicate for $22.49. So if my math checks out, that's $7 to $49 a game, or yeah, $7.49, something like that. It's $7.50, right around that range. Black Flag is obviously excellent. Syndicate is excellent. Unity was kind of a train wreck at launch with its performance, but a lot of that has been fixed up. So if you go back and play Unity now, I still think it's the weakest Assassin's Creed game, you know, of the main releases. But if you go back now and play it, it's not as bad as when it came out in 2014 or whatever. And Black Flag is an awesome game, and Syndicate, I really, really enjoyed it, and I was going to bat for that game. Unfortunately, that game sold so poorly that that's what made Ubisoft shift into this new style of Assassin's Creed with Origins, Odyssey, and so on and so forth. But I still like to recommend these old style of Assassin's Creed games because these types of games were right up my alley, and I really enjoyed them. And I think this bundle for 22 and change is pretty good. But that's going to wrap up this one, guys. Again, a lot of great deals available right now, and even more deals at a cheaper price threshold that we will get around to covering. But that's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.